And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Barkley. And he fires one that's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony with a pick. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And some room to work. There he goes inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Here we go now.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Barkley. To Mixon on the check down. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, That's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be at the end today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here's Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. Trying to get it to Landry there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll go with a keeper, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll set up a throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. He swallowed him up. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. First down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. On 3rd down, Mayfield looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. And this is going to be incomplete. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Bullock will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere, forced him to take just the three.
And they'll be, happy taking the three. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Detroit! Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A good pickup there at 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, Mayfield. Flush to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Bryce Hager coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
He's got it at the 15. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 60 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Gun! 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 Gun!
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Martavis Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
One play has them up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10.
Gun! 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 Gun!
first down, Mayfield. Flushed out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And it's second down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And he slings one that's incomplete. A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from Cleveland after this. The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far.
Detroit!
This is
Detroit!
3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit! Ha!
Mayfield now. Wide open receiver complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Gone! 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 Gone!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Landry, the intended target. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, look at 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Leonard Williams. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A second down throw for Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A run for Nick Chubb. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
3-19! 3-19!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Myles Garrett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw here. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Mayfield now on second down. He's going to fire one deep over them. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. 43 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And avoids the contact by sliding. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Leopard! Leopard!
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Ah, that's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space, and let the linebackers run free, they can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now Barkley. He sets to fire deep. And this will be caught at the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Mayfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off at his own 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Now let's go! Blue landing!
Again, here's Bernard. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Here's Barkley. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now back to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Throw left side complete to Scott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the grab by Croft. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leroy Reynolds in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. The Browns on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 19.
Lucky 56.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end in Njoku. 23 yards on the play. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a third down. From the gun, Mayfield. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He drops it off for Bernard. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony with a pick. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Second down, Mayfield. Flush to his right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. He's going to air one out. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Martavis Bryant with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup here as he'll get up to about the 22-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. Past the 20, 10, and they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run, 71 yards. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
He'll get it up the middle. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw, deep down. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Leopard! Gone!
Mayfield. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bryce Hager in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Browns, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.